Still.
Well, good evening, everybody.
No.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Dirty 30s, and I hope you are in a good mood as I am tonight. It's not just the alcohol talking. It's because I got my two good buddies on for the 30th episode of Dirty 30s, and we have Brandon and Paul is joining us tonight, straight from the Windy City. Without further ado, let's just get after it. We don't want to waste any time. We just want to get to the funny. So, Paulie, how you been? It's been a while since you've been on the show.
Hey, what's up? I'm doing great. Lots changed since I've been on the show last time. So, thanks for having me.
Well, a lot has changed since the last time you were on, and now we want to talk about that tonight. But before we do, Brandon, how are you? Maybe. Brandon? Are you out there? Hello?
Anytime.
Well, Brandon's working on an old computer, so he says, and he's a little slower, so we're just going to move on until Brandon decides to chime in.
Hey, it keeps freezing on me. Did you say something to me?
Hey, there he is. Yes, we introduced you, and you just
sorry.
You didn't want to talk.
No, it froze. It froze.
Is it cold?
It's definitely cold, but
You're so annoyed just then.
it's it's frozen. But gotta let it go.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus. I've never even seen the movie, but I knew what that was.
Yeah,
real quick, how many times have you seen that movie?
At least 10. Probably 10.
You own it? Is it out on DVD?
Oh, yeah, it came out last year, man. Get with it, man.
Paul, have you ever seen that movie?
I have seen it 0 times.
Okay, so that's what happens. You don't have kids, and you're not around little kids. You don't see those movies. But
adults are like way too much into that fucking movie, and I don't know why.
Because it helps them escape the realities of their mundane lives.
Okay.
That's why we do this show, to talk to these people, to talk to you. Speaking of mundane lives, tonight's a very special episode in my mind because Paul is going to tell us all about what he has been up to since the last time he was on the show. And more importantly, Paul, rumor has it, well, I don't know if it's a rumor anymore because you blatantly told me that you are engaged.
I told you that?
You did. You might have mentioned it in between derogatory stories about you having lots of sex with your future wife that is now your current fiancé.
I mean, we are having lots of sex, but I don't know about being engaged. I mean, I changed the status on Facebook to being engaged because we just wanted to see all the reactions that would come in from family. So it freaked everybody out in my family big time. And but if we do, I'm not saying that I am getting married, but if I do or we do, it's not going to be, there won't be a wedding. It's just going to be like an impromptu Vegas, weekend thing. So.
All right. So you're kind of half in, half out. You both are feeling it out whether or not you want to be engaged. Is that what you're telling me?
I think so. I mean, yeah. That at this point, that's what's going on.
Does it have anything to do with the fact that you've got like 2 quinceañera dresses hanging behind you on the wall?
Well, those are just the nasty curtains that are in the guest room.
They look like something that a young lady would wear to her quinceañera.
What's that?
Birthday. Quinceañera is when a Latina young lady. It's like.
Holy shit.
I think he froze again. That was
a great seizure. Is Brandon? Are you having a stroke?
Are you stroking out on us, Brandon? All right. Well, we apologize for the technical difficulties by Brandon's trying to get his computer up and going. He's probably telling a very fascinating story and enlighten us on the history of Latinos and their traditions in wearing the dresses. But what I was going to say is you must be married already because you've been banished to the guest room in order to do your things with your friends. So.
Yeah. Otherwise, she'd be coming on. So.
Is she not allowed to come on the show? I'd love to have her on the show. Can we make that happen?
She won't come on the show. I already asked her earlier if she wanted to come in, and she won't do it.
No? All right.
Not enough makeup on, I don't know what. She doesn't want she doesn't want the 7 people to see her without makeup that are listening to this right now.
Is she real? That's all I want to know. Because I have yet to meet her. I have not met her yet. I
Well,
haven't been able to get to Chicago,
I
so
haven't been able to travel here because if you do, you'll definitely meet her because I'm living with her, so you'd have to pretty much come here. But you're more than welcome to because the guest bedroom is basically, I sleep here, a few nights out of the week, but mostly I don't use it, so it's basically yours if you ever.
you sleep in the guest room a few nights a week.
Absolutely.
You guys don't share a room?
We kind of do, but it's like she gets up at like fucking 5:30 in the morning. I don't want to deal with that shit, so I just, sleep in my room. Because sometimes she'll go to bed at like 11 o'clock, like, like an old lady. So
Right, and you're a night owl like I am, so
yeah, I
could
want to
see
stay
that.
up and watch movies. I want to play guitar. I want to hang out by myself. So it kind of works. So
She's not one of those ladies that would like to make sure you sleep together every night so you can
no,
cuddle.
absolutely not. I mean, unless I watch something scary with her. Like if I watch a scary movie, I have to go to bed with her. That's weird, isn't it?
Well,
She's 35 years old. So, but if she sees something scary, I must go to sleep with her until she falls asleep, and then I can
Scary
go
like the new like crime statistics in Chicago or like on the news
like
or
that.
like
No, we're really into that show that's on FX, the American Horror Story. If you haven't checked it out, it's pretty intense. But if we watch that or like a scary movie, we watched Event Horizon. I don't know if you ever saw that, but that really freaked her out with Lawrence Fishburne.
all right, okay, well, I'm starting to get skeptical. Like this is like a bad episode of Catfish or something, where like you're telling us that you have a girlfriend, but you really don't.
All right.
yeah. Do you have a picture of her on your phone that you could like cover her eyes with your finger and then like show us?
Yeah, I do.
Or show Josh. I mean, I believe you. Josh is just the one being a dickhead right now.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I could get her in here, but she won't come in here. I told you, I've already tried.
All right, well, I guess I'll make the trip to Chicago and we can meet up and I can meet this fine young lady that is gracious enough to take you into her home and into her bed a couple nights out of the week.
Or stupid enough.
Well, I was trying to be nice. It's what I do. So, yeah. So, all right, Brandon, are you up and running now? Are you good? We never got to hear the rest of that story.
Guess
Apparently not. Apparently, Brandon's just gonna chime in whenever his computer.
You know what? My something's wrong. It keeps freezing on me. So talk amongst yourselves. I'm gonna try to switch computers and see if that helps anything any. So if I pop in and out, that's what you're used to. So.
No, that's what your wife's used to. But anyways, moving on. Yes, thank you very much for that one. So, all right, Paul, you were kind of half engaged, and that's cool, and you're living with her. That's great. You recently, what else have you done? Didn't you finish up getting a degree of some kind and like?
Oh yeah, I've been working full time now, so I'm a full-time therapist, work in massage, work in sports massage, and got a job at a pretty high-end spa in very close to where I'm staying now. I am in the Rogers Park neighborhood of Chicago, which is the northernmost neighborhood that you can get before you're in Evanston, Illinois.
Okay, on the north side, way up there.
Way up there. It's a little dodgy up here, man. Shit gets rough up in the RP, but so far I haven't heard any shootings or any bullets flying around. My girlfriend's heard it a few times, though.
Interesting. I always thought the perception was the south side of Chicago was the rough part, but north side as well.
Rogers Park this neighborhood is one of the last havens for. There's a lot of subsidies up here, a lot of subsidized housing, and then if you go a little bit west of where I'm at, there's still quite a few gangs. There was a car bombing actually here 2 weeks before I moved in.
In the neighborhood?
Yeah, actually on the same street, about 2 houses down from where I am.
Oh wow.
So what had happened was there was these 2 rival up-and-coming Chicago rap artists who had an argument of some sort. I don't know if it was over a woman or over who makes more money or whatever it was. They had some beef with each other, and the dude straight up burned this guy's car, and he broke the windows out and threw in some sort of a Molotov cocktail. The car caught fire. It exploded from the. That wasn't a car bomb. That's a misconception. I guess the pressure of the fire built up inside the cabin of the car, and it created like a, just blew the windows out. And I got dropped off from a cab coming back from work to come over here. And at the time I wasn't living here yet, but I was always over here anyway. So I was visiting her, and I walked by this bombed out shell of a car, and the entire interior was just black, and you could just, it was burnt out. And later found out that there was rival rappers going at it. So
Interesting. Were they like out in front of the car, like battle rapping on the street?
no, it was just the guy had left his car there. I guess his girlfriend lived in the neighborhood, and he was seeing his girlfriend, and the guy knew where he was, and just was like, "I want to show this motherfucker," and burn his car up. And it wasn't a nice car either. It was just like 10 years old, just a regular car. So they hadn't made it yet. It wasn't like a Mercedes or a Rolls Royce.
And they weren't taking the opportunity to shoot a music video with their iPhones outside of the car, battle rapping?
No, that would have been a smart way to capitalize on that. But
That's a missed opportunity right there. If you're going to blow someone's car up, you should battle rap in front of it while it's burning behind you.
at least photograph
Richard
it.
Wise.
Yeah, well, he's in jail now. I mean, they apprehended the guy that did it, obviously, because he posted all over his Twitter and Facebook that he had done it. So they had the confession, and he's pretty much screwed.
Okay. Well, not really. I mean, maybe this will help him get a quote-unquote record deal to be a rapper.
Yeah,
Nice
I mean,
street cred.
Yeah, 50 Cent got shot like 10 times, and that helped his credibility big time. So,
Right.
yeah, I moved in here like 2 months ago. I don't know. I can't even remember the last time I was on the show. I was living at my other apartment in the other part of town, and
Yeah, did you ever sublease that thing? You were trying to get me to do it, and I was considering it, but did you ever...
absolutely, that was a nightmare, but it's over with now, hopefully.
Okay.
Provided the tenant is not a complete douchebag. But yeah, it's for now it's going pretty well.
Okay, good. Yeah, so you've moved up in the world. You got a full-time job being a therapist. Moved to the north side, and you're kind of living with the girl, and you sleep in her bed a few nights out of the week, and you're kind of engaged just for the funny of it. All right, I like catching up to speed with you here. Looks like Brandon's still MIA on this conversation, but that's all right. So,
Yeah.
what else is happening in the world of Paulie? What's going on?
Nothing I can think of right now. Just enjoying the honeymoon phase of being.
Is that why you're having a lot of sex? Because you guys aren't really actually married yet?
I don't know. Is that what happens when you get married? You don't fuck anymore.
Well, if Brandon would hurry up and get back on, we can ask him. That's the whole point of this conversation.
Yeah, we do need to ask him. I would like his insight on that because that could be something that could be a reality for me someday. But it's not the case now. It's pretty crazy. It's like being on a honeymoon.
Nice. And honeymoon on the north side of Chicago. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it for me. It's not as exciting as it once was.
Oh no, you've already thrown in the towel of having an exciting life?
No, we're actually trying to plan for some things to do. We're looking into taking a cruise in February. Cruise prices are pretty cheap, so we could probably get a good deal on a 4 or 5 day cruise down south. So that's something.
I like it.
Yes, that's exciting. Maybe a little travel.
Travel in your horizons?
Yeah, I mean it's weird. One of the things that we I don't want to say argue, but one of the things where our life paths kind of collide a little bit is her plans after graduation. She kind of wants to travel and be able to teach abroad all over the world and would like to do this for quite some time. Now, I don't know if it's going to be like a decade or if it's going to be years, but that's just, really what she wants to do, and it's kind of hard for us to figure out how that's going to work logistically. Obviously, I would come with her if we were married, but, it's just one of those things where, she's going to be leaving in probably about 9 months, and if it's one of the things that kind of looms off in the distance of, in 9 months, are we going to be leaving together, or is that your phone?
Apparently, another friend of ours is trying to FaceTime while I'm having this episode, and I'm going to see if they want to join us in this episode while Brandon's getting ready to boot up here.
Just pick it up. Don't even ask him.
Oh, well, it
Hey,
wasn't. Hey.
Hey. What did I miss?
Everything. You missed everything.
So
All right.
Paul
Give me the Cliff Notes version.
Paul went into great detail about how he's going to be traveling the world with his multi-million-dollar fiancée who wants 6 or 7 kids, and meanwhile he's dodging car bombs in north side of Chicago and in between rap wars.
Mm-hmm. That's basically it.
That's exactly what I would have expected.
Yeah. And
Pretty much what I thought he would.
we're all still waiting in great anticipation for you to finish your story about the Latina ladies in their dresses.
We're way past that. I lost interest in that.
That's good. I was making it up.
It sounded like it.
Oh shit!
Can you say who the mystery person was that was trying to FaceTime with you?
I would try to get them on the show here. It would be a nice little surprise. So talk amongst yourselves.
Okay.
What's going on? Somebody tried to FaceTime Josh while you guys were talking?
Yeah, we were in the middle of a conversation, and his phone starts ringing. And he said somebody was trying to FaceTime him. So, yeah, I don't know. So, hey, Brandon, I heard.
Was it a lady friend or a man friend?
I don't know. I think he said him. So Josh said I'm going to try to text him and try to get him on the show. So I'm assuming it's a dude that we know. So all right, let's hope that's exciting. But I did get it has been a while since I've been on the show, but I had the opportunity to listen to the last couple of episodes. So you've had some exciting shit going on, right? I mean, you were in a movie?
Oh, yeah.
I walked by a TV show today on the way from the gym.
Was it Chicago Fire?
Close. It was the other one.
Oh.
The Chicago PD, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
They were filming, I don't know how familiar you are with town, but I was in Uptown, and they were filming in front of the Green Mill bar, which is that famous old Al Capone bar from the 1920s. They had the camera crews. They had about four tractor trailers for like wardrobe and all the lighting gear, so everything was out. I didn't see any actors or actresses, or they didn't look like they were filming anything. Just a bunch of crew guys, like fat dudes with beards, standing around running equipment.
You know what I noticed is the couple days that I spent on set of this movie, all the dudes that work there, no matter how big, burly, full thick beards they are, they have the like tiny pipsqueak voices. It's like me, who. I'm probably a soprano or whatever. Like I sound like Barry White compared to these guys. It's pretty fascinating.
So you're saying they're very mousy, kind of like.
Kind of.
Just,
yeah.
That's kind of weird. I mean, like that's like a stereotypical kind of film geek. Do they have like the big dark rim glasses? A lot of them, the kind of nerdy.
Yeah, I would say half of them had that.
Yeah, because everybody that works in film, they're just a bunch of hipsters. I mean, to me, anybody under the age of 30, no matter what they are, is a hipster to me. Like, if you're under the age of 30, you're just a hipster by default. In my book, I'm just saying. I mean, and I'm not that much over 30 myself. I mean, just a few years, but still, it's like anybody under the age of 30 for me, I just look at him and I'm like, hipster. Hipster rapper, hipster.
Wait a minute. You're going to be 35 this year. What do you mean you're just into your 30s?
That's the way I look at it. I mean, I got to be optimistic. So Brandon, you were on this movie, right? This big movie.
Yeah.
Okay, you can't say the name of the movie, right? Like you cannot talk about it.
I can't say the name of the movie.
Was it directed by J.J. Abrams?
I don't think I can say the name of the director, but I can speak in vagaries. Or
I'm going to jump out there and say he's not in Star Wars.
Oh, damn. Okay. Not in Star Wars. Okay.
Definitely not Star Wars. Yeah. That's all I'll say. But it's a big one. And it was pretty exciting. And it's a boring story because I can't say shit about it. But
damn it. Oh, well.
I'll tell you later.
All right. So are we getting our surprise guest yet or not?
Almost there. I'm working on it.
Anyway, why is everybody drinking tonight? I'm the only one not drinking.
Because we're 35-year-old men talking to each other on a computer doing a show. Why wouldn't we be drinking?
I'm drinking because I found a really cheap variety pack of like different pumpkin spice beers and
Is
like
that is that one of those like hipster microbrewery like beard glasses beer?
No. This one is just
Is that what guys with
Yeah,
handlebar
sure.
mustaches drink?
no. They would probably look down on me like through their thick glasses and teardrop tattoos for drinking this. This is like a national brand, whatever.
No,
Is
All
that,
right.
is
it's
that an
not
angry?
local.
Is that an Angry Orchard?
That's an Angry Orchard. Sinful apple, spelled Cinn, full. Because it's like cinnamon and apple. It's pretty good. I'm not afraid to admit I like a little bit of flavor in my beer. I don't care. Whatever,
It's
man. I'm drinking
technically
beers.
it's technically not beer. It's hard cider.
You guys, I gotta say, the both of you look like you're doing this from some sort of dungeon. Are you guys
Well,
in the basement or?
If you've been watching the shows, you know that I'm in a dungeon. So I'm just gonna. I need a drink too because I'm all out.
All right, we'll keep that going.
You just have like your guitars are strangely all in a row. Are you like trying to sell them or?
No, I gotta prop them up so I can get them out when I need them.
I just sold both my guitars.
Emergency! I need the Fender with the silver shiny sparkles on it. Which? Oh, good thing it was out here. I can grab it really quickly.
Hey,
Touche.
when you gotta record, you can't waste time going through cases. You just gotta get these things ready to go.
Yeah, they should be out at all times. Eddie Van Halen used to take the guitar to the toilet with him when he was taking a shit. True story. 'Cause he said you never know when inspiration is going to hit you, so you could be pinching a loaf and come up with a great riff. That's how he wrote like 80% of Van Halen's material.
And that's why it all sounds like shit.
I would have guessed the Sammy Hagar years were the ones that were written on the toilet.
Most of those, yeah. No, those are recorded on the toilet.
What are you laughing at, man?
It's fucking
Are
funny.
you laughing because you can't get a freaking FaceTime to work?
I can't get anything to work over here. All right.
This must be a full moon or something because like.
So what the hell
Yeah.
were you planning on doing with this guy? Just like holding up the phone like this and say, "Hey, it's FaceTime."
No,
Is
they're gonna join.
for something that as low tech as that.
They're gonna join Google Hangout, but we're just trying to get it all set up.
Is it a guy or girl?
It is a female, so put on your best attitude here.
So if say the C word, then that's cool.
Oh yeah, it's totally cool.
Cunt.
There it
I
is.
said it. Yeah.
Okay, now.
We
In the
figured.
meantime, I did have a topic for tonight, so I want to get us talking about this topic.
Okay.
I realized very recently that I don't know. I don't think it's age. I think it's just experience or my life that I'm a little old and bitter now, a little jaded and bitter, where I think I've lost the ability to not be condescending and judgmental of everything people talk about, and more importantly, like when someone like talks about like having not having dreams, but like maybe talking about something they read or they saw that was inspiring to them, and I immediately try to find all the holes in it and shit all over it. So I don't know if that's a me thing or if you guys do that as well.
I don't think that that's an age thing because I've known you since your mid-20s and you've always been that way, shitting on things that you don't care for or not really, caring if you hurt people's feelings or not holding back. You've always been like that. I mean, I understand what you're saying because I kind of feel that way as I get older. But when it comes to you, you've kind of been. Yeah, that's kind of how I think you've stayed pretty consistent throughout the 13, 12 years I've known you.
Yeah. All right. So what you're saying is that I'm just now realizing I do it. I've done it all this time, and I never realized it before.
Yeah, maybe with age is just more self-realization, and that's probably more attributed to your age than the actual behavior of crapping on everything and just not having patience.
Okay, Paul, where do you come in on this?
I'm taking a shit on people's conversations. I don't really like listen in on people's conversations that much. I try to block it all
No,
out.
I mean, it's not listening in. It's when someone's directly talking to you and they're telling you about something that they read or something they're into,
Yeah,
and they're getting kind of excited about it. And to you, it's a bunch of bullshit. Like they're just not smart enough to realize it, and
and
they're still
that
being fooled.
and that is given that the person telling me this isn't someone that I'm currently sleeping with. So I have no obligation to be like to humor them, right?
All right, so what you're saying is if you're sleeping with them, you must indulge it and humor them. If
Yeah.
you're not, it's okay. It's okay to shit on them.
Yeah, you should. Like if you know, if it's your girlfriend or somebody you care about, then you need to kind of just, listen in. Um, but if it's somebody that you don't give a shit about, I mean, why not? I mean, it depends on what they're saying. I mean, if they're talking to you about something that they're into that you don't give a shit about, I don't know. That's most things. I mean, I give a shit about very few things. I don't like it when people drone on to me about sports. I mean, I don't give a fuck about sports. I'm not going to sit here and pretend to be interested in that. I can't do it. But sometimes that happens at work. I will have some clients that get a little bit chatty when whether I'm working on them or we're doing stretches and stuff like that. They want a small talk, I guess. And at that point, you got to kind of like, yeah, okay, yeah, all right, sure. Just kind of humor them and nod your head, but in the back of your mind, you're just like, I don't give a fuck.
All right, I think that's two different topics now. I think like I understand what you're saying, but I'm meaning more of like, okay, it's somebody that you're talking to. Let's say it's me or Brandon, whatever, and we're talking about something. I don't know. Let's say I'm talking about. Trying to think of an example. Like I'm into yoga now, and I'm talking about that, and then I'm talking about these yogis that 100 years ago figured out how to slow their heart rate down, and almost to the point where it doesn't even beat anymore because of how intense they can meditate and how they've broken through, and all these writings about it, and blah blah blah. What would your reaction to that be?
I guess it'd be like big fucking deal. I mean, I don't believe that that's possible. For one, that somebody could slow their heart rate down to like 1 beat per day or something like that. But number two, I'm not into yoga, man. I mean, I just don't get this whole cultural appropriation. I mean, you're fucking white. You're not Indian. You're not Hindu. It's just these white people getting into shit that has nothing to do. It's like the white guy that's way too into martial arts. It's like, okay, dude, you're not an Asian. All right? Do you realize that?
Speaking of Asians, Brandon, you've been quiet over there.
Yeah.
Well, hey, we got a guest
All
that
right,
just popped in, right?
All right, let's cut to our guest. For the first time on the show, she goes back over 5 years, knowing all of us. She was always that member of the group that's never had a name, and so we gave her a nickname, and we call her the Waitress. And without further ado, straight out of New Orleans, Louisiana, Waitress, how are you? Welcome to the Dirty 30s. This is where you speak now.
Okay, I've never used it. Why does my face not pop up?
Don't worry about your face. You look lovely tonight. And so you're with Brandon and Paul are on the show. You know both of them. So yeah, we've been talking intense conversations about rap wars in inner city Chicago, and Paul being kind of engaged, Brandon having massive computer problems and drinking cinnamon flavored Angry Orchard, and I just got done talking about what it means to shit all over somebody's excitement about life. So let's talk about you.
Are we talking about yoga again? Because I guess you guys caught me in my Lululemon yoga pants there that I spent way too much money on.
How much do those cost?
About $130.
You're an idiot.
Thank you.
$130 for yoga pants. Are they the yoga pants?
For pants.
Wait a minute.
Pants.
Are they the yoga pants that you don't have to actually do yoga to have that yoga ass?
See, I wouldn't even know. But I got these 2 years ago, and I still regret it. I try to wear them as much as I can because now I can't afford a better apartment. I blame my terrible choices on spending.
Yeah, a waitress. I gotta say that your room acoustics are just insane. Like the echo in there is unbelievable. Are you hearing that reverb, or is it just me?
Well, I do have like 10-foot ceilings, so I apologize.
I think it's that New Orleans architecture probably is very acoustical, right?
Well, we won't hold it against her since tonight has been plagued with technical difficulties across the board, and she didn't really plan on being on the show. Normally, we prep a person before they come on the show, but since she was kind enough to try to FaceTime me, I decided to invite her to the show. So let's not hold her acoustic against her, but let's get talking to the waitress. Waitress, you are not a lawyer, but you work in lawyers' offices. You're a paralegal, and a damn good one. So let's talk about the law.
The law. That I'm not supposed to practice it, quote unquote, but I get paid half as much to do it. So.
Is that what being a paralegal is?
Essentially, I just don't sign things. No responsibility.
So nothing can be held against you. You just do all the work and get none of the reward.
I also don't have over $200,000 in debt, so there's also that.
That's a win to me. That's a win.
You don't have, or you do have $200,000.
I'm not a lawyer.
You get to do lawyer things without spending, years and years and hundreds of thousands of dollars on the degree, right?
There's also that, and then the appearance of being a lawyer, like buying all the suits. In New Orleans, it's all about the Mercedes, so no, going even further into debt. So no thanks.
Yeah, exactly. Well, not to change the subject or anything, but is it weird that you're only referred to as waitress? Because that's how I was introduced to you. This is waitress, right? And it wasn't until I think we became friends on Facebook that I was like, oh my God, that's waitress. She has a first name and a surname. Oh, like good Lord, what is that weird to you?
I don't know. I guess I blame Always Sunny in Philadelphia and that guy's real wife. I guess I don't know, Charlie's wife.
I don't think that was because of the show. Josh, do you want to share the story of why she became waitress?
Because that is exactly all we knew her as. None of us knew her name. And just like the show, they didn't know her name.
She was a cocktail waitress.
Yeah, she was a damn good cocktail waitress. And we were into the show at the time. It was because of the show. And, and you don't pay attention to people's names. And you know me, what's in a name? So we just call her the waitress. And it just kind of stuck. And then she's always tried to give herself a new nickname in the group. Unsuccessfully, because as the unofficial leader of the group, I determine nicknames, and unless it's a good one, I just keep calling you whatever I feel like calling you, and it just was the waitress.
Guess it was better than the stripper, Rich Paul. Well, that's
but that's inaccurate. That's totally inaccurate because you're not a stripper or never have been a stripper.
What did I do with the stripper?
You were there that night because of looking at strippers, I imagine.
No, that was when I was. I tried dating one of the girls that worked there. She kind of had a crush on me and gave me her Remember that night when she told me where she worked at her other job, and she told me to come see her at another at a pita, a place that makes pitas, and then I go over there like an idiot, and she wasn't there.
And they're like, no, that girl's been dead for 15 years, and nobody's heard from her.
And then I got stalked by that British one for a while. She was like a stripper with an English from England, and anyways.
Caddy, the one that went insane, and now she's okay.
Well, that's great, as long as she's okay.
That's a win.
Crotch in Josh's face, by the way, and he almost threw up on her. So.
Why? Why did you almost throw up?
That is a true story. Before I tell that story, it just occurred to me while you guys were going back and forth that out of everybody in the group and all of my friends like that, Brandon, you don't have a nickname, nor have you ever had a nickname.
Wait, I don't have a nickname.
Yeah, you have a nickname. Of course you have a nickname.
He does?
Yeah, he's been Polly Horsecock since we've known him.
What's your nickname? You don't have a nickname.
God.
Face.
The
Josh.
Gemini.
Me?
Josh is the Gemini.
Joshua. Well, that's
I'm the
Gemini.
Gemini.
when you give yourself the name. It's not
Yeah,
really.
that is self-applied.
That's right. You don't have a nickname. We should call you Puka Shell Necklace Guy, or friggin' Sideburns.
Call him Curly.
Curly. Yeah, when you have the long you had the long permed hair. Not permed, crinkle cut. What are those things called when you
Josh Vaughn, did you insult him?
Yeah, he just left. He got pissed. He got butthurt and just now he's gone. So.
Well,
Right.
that's what. If I've known anything, if I've learned anything from a decade or so of friendship with him is to get mad, blow off some steam a little bit, then he'll come back and he'll settle in. He'll be good. It's good for him. It's hubris.
Yes.
It's good
You
hubris.
cut him deep, Brandon. You cut him deep. You just know how to.
I pride myself on being able to do that because you have to know somebody inside and out to know like the one or two words that you can say that just like boom, you're done, finished.
So the shell necklace, I think that's where it started.
Yes, when I met him, he was wearing a puka shell necklace and playing guitar for our comedy group, and I was like, damn, why is that dude wearing a puka shell necklace? This is 2002. I was like, wait a minute, are they coming back in? Is it cool now? Is it early 1990s fashion coming back in? Should I get my slap bracelets? Are those coming back in? I don't know.
What is a puka shell?
It's kind of like I just call it the puka shell. I don't know that it's actually called the puka shell, but it's like the little tiny shells that are sort of rounded, but it's like alternating a dark one, and a light one, a dark one, and a light one, and you're wearing it, and it's like, hey man, it's like I'm cool, like I've been to the beach, but also like these are manufactured in a warehouse, so I haven't been anywhere.
That terrible Florida tourist trap shop in Botland.
It's the Ocean Pacific store, $9 necklace.
Well, you're going way back with Ocean Pacific.
Oh, the OP store, man. That's where you heard loud music, and you're like, what's going on? I want to go in and check it out. And you go in there, and it's like, hey, $10 for board shorts? I don't board, but hey, $10, I'll wear that. Josh, hey man, did you found your way back in?
I think
He's looking for his necklace.
I was trying to recall that story, and so now I'm back. I don't know if I'm back for good.
Did you find the necklace?
We really want to know.
I didn't know I was looking for a necklace. What necklace was I looking for?
Oh, a puka shell necklace. you know that old thing.
Puka shell.
Going down memory lane with a puka shell necklace, obviously.
That's right.
I guess. I feel so out of the loop now.
Hey man, I felt for the first 20 minutes the damn thing. Hey, guess what? Hey, so the first night I met Waitress, I won't say your real name in case that's being kept a secret or whatever. Josh is like beside himself right now. I wish you could see him. He's like
Looks frozen.
he's frozen.
Wow.
Oh man. All right.
He had a stroke.
He's doing his best Dick Clark impression. So, oh my God, why did I say that? That's friggin' rude.
That's awesome.
But so the first night I met Waitress here. I think it was a birthday party for Josh, right? And was that the night that Paul, you were doing stand up?
Birthday party?
Birthday party at the restaurant / bar that Josh was working.
Which birthday? 30th or like how long ago?
It must have been way after 30th.
It was. I think it was one of the. I think it was the one that you did stand up for the first time at. And so you're doing a stand up there. Josh is like working the crowd and stuff, and I was talking to Waitress here and getting to know her and stuff, and then Paul, you finished your set or something. You came over and you're sitting down, And then I think this other girl came up. It was just, I think she was a friend of yours, Waitress, and you, like, she wanted nothing to do with you, Paul, and she was like, oh, you know, she was kind of almost disgusted by the things you would say. And then you ripped your shirt open for some reason, and she saw that you had a six-pack, and was like, oh my God, you got a six-pack, and then like started touching it and stuff like that. And it was like, I've never seen anyone like do a complete 180 like that before. Do you remember that?
I do remember that. That was one of the girls that was trying to bone Josh, and I don't remember who she was, but I remember her being there. It wasn't one of Katie's friends. It was not.
She just happened to be there.
It was not one of her friends. It was this girl, and I don't remember her name, and I don't give a shit. But yeah, she was some floozy that was after the heart of the Gemini, and
Small town girl. Yeah.
Small town girl. Yeah, living in a lonely world after she meets old Paul and his washboard abs, you know.
Yeah.
But, well, that's just a testament to Waitress. I think you already just said her name, so I can say Katie. But that's a testament to you, because like you know, I didn't know that you didn't know this girl, but you were so kind and welcoming to her that I was like, oh, they must be best friends. And wow, what a nice person you are.
That's the part of being the waitress. You're fake nice to everybody. I guess she wasn't paying me, so
yeah.
I guess there.
Well, it worked. It worked. You know, it always pays to be kind.
Yeah, it's the old story though, of the dynamic. You know, girl going after Josh, Paul opening up his shirt just randomly all the time, like it was a bodily function.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's nothing new.
That's right.
I still do that all the time.
And I hope you do, man. You work hard for those washboard abs, and you gotta show them off, right? But man, I remember that story because I can't remember another time in my life where I've seen like someone go from like one side of the fence to like all the way over it in like 90 seconds.
Yeah, she was that's all it took.
Good for you though. Good for you.
Was she even good looking? I don't even remember this.
I don't think so. All I know is I didn't get laid. And she was okay, I guess, for like a Midwestern white girl, but I don't know.
Well, yeah. It was a sight to see, and it was impressive. So I was like, dang, that's pretty amazing. So Josh has just texted me and says, hey, it's not letting me back in. I think that's code for like you guys hurt my feelings and stuff. So I'm gonna try to invite him back in. So let's see if I can talk and type at the same time. Whoa! What's going on there? Sound like an avalanche here.
Well, this has been a complete wash.
Hey, that's what I love about it, man. Anything can happen, right?
We need to talk about something interesting. Anybody want to talk about, what do we do, like topics? We talk about shit that's in the news.
I don't know. You know, Josh is back, but hey, I gotta say, so Waitress, you live down in New Orleans, right? And,
Orleans, yeah. Don't pronounce it like a white guy. That's not cool.
You know, I feel like I have to. I feel like it would be inauthentic for me to say New Orleans. Because, like, you know, I don't have a southern accent, and like I have no business saying that. So
yeah, you're right. I agree with that.
I have to feel like I have to play into, like, okay, well, you know, it's like I don't say, like, I don't go into like a Starbucks and be like, can I have a croissant with my coffee? And I say, oh, I have a croissant, you know, because it's like the Midwestern version of it.
Because you know why? Because you're not fucking insane. That's why you do that.
Well, I can see people saying that and wanting to, you know, acclimate to their surroundings and the people around them.
No, don't do that. Don't fucking do that. I hate it when people do that. I mean, be yourself. I mean,
it's a survival technique, man. You don't want to identify yourself as an outsider and stuff, right?
I could see if you're in France, right, you would do that. If I were to go to Italy, I would, prosciutto, I would, try. But when you go into Olive Garden, come on, man. Like, you're just going to look like a douchebag.
I mean, I think ordering the unlimited soup salad and breadsticks for lunch, you're gonna do that anyway, right? You're gonna start
start looking. Hey, Josh, man, you keep texting me, man. What's up?
I'm trying to get back in this conversation, and I don't know what's happening. I think you gave me your computer problems, so
It's a computer virus.
It's Ebola for computer.
I can only imagine what I missed while you all were talking. But instead of recapping, let's continue on. And I was just picking up what you were saying about pretending to be part of the vernacular of the locals when you move someplace. And I agree with Paul on that one. You don't need to represent where you're from, but you don't need to try to blend in where you're at. And as far as survival instincts goes, this isn't caveman times. We don't need to try to fit in.
Yeah, it takes 2 seconds to observe and hear Orleans instead of Orleans. So you don't want to be like a total outsider, like people pointing and say that's that freaking douche tourist over there taking pictures of that tree or that house or beads. I don't know.
Well, just in case you haven't realized it, New Orleans doesn't have the best rap as far as the world goes. So maybe I don't want to be people to think I'm from New Orleans and stuff.
I don't know. As long as you just don't hang out on Bourbon Street and throw up on a hooker, you're fine.
Then again, neither does Chicago have the best reputation, so...
I don't know. Some would say we all have accents because we're all kind of from centrally located Midwest, but I don't think we do.
I don't think I have that bad of one compared to like people that I work with or that I know. But when I went down to visit you and Jeff in Arkansas, people were like, their mind was blown. Like I can't even understand what you're saying right now. Like, slow down. Like, hold on.
I can't understand what you're saying to me. Speak English, boy.
I was like, Arkansas's not that
Brandon, they must have thought you were fresh off the boat. I mean, they don't see too many of your kind that far.
Well, I mean, they're like, are you from Canada? like, I guess there's some similarities and stuff like that. But I remember was it Seth? I think it was Seth, our buddy Seth. He was saying like, man, like you sound like you are from Canada. I don't know that Seth sounds like that, but
I'm gonna jump in and say that is a spot on Seth.
Is it
impression right there? I've seen him recently. We've hung out, and yeah, that is a spot on Seth.
Hey Brandon, are you Chinese or Japanese?
That's a great Hank Hill. I love it.
That's my favorite episode too, because he had those neighbors, and they were trying to explain to him that they were from Laos, and he just it was like it just was over their heads. So you Chinese or Japanese?
That was a good. That's the only episode I really remember from the whole series.
Oh, that was a great series. I've been rewatching the Beavis and Buttheads. They have like all the episodes on YouTube. You can watch just like hours of that show if you get a chance.
Isn't every episode pretty much the same thing though?
Yeah, but it still kind of holds up. It's one of those things that you think it's nostalgic and it's like it's dated, it's not going to hold up, but it's still pretty funny and kind of relevant about. There's a lot of social commentary in there as well, but it's just damn funny.
Yeah. Sounds like they just mashed sound bites together, and that was a show. I don't know.
Well, you don't get it. You're a bit young for Beavis and Butthead.
Young, not to understand his Barton shit jokes. So, oops.
Well, it was a different time. You're a little younger than us. We were discussing that
Hmm.
even though Paul is turning 35, he still considers himself in his early 30s.
Very early 30s.
Yeah.
Why not mid? What's wrong with mid? Mid 30s.
I don't know.
Well, I mean,
after 35, you're kind of on the wrong side of 30 at that point. So.
Is it too closely associated with middle-aged? Is that the
I think
problem?
I think middle age. I have a while to that, right? That's kind of like the middle of your life. So like if my expectancy was like 80, that would be 40. So.
well, it's kind of the point. Is
You
you're closer
decided
to
you
40
would
than
live a
30.
long life.
Who'd want to? I don't want to live till I'm 90. Fuck that.
I'm sure Brandon's gonna outlive all of us. Asians age better, or is that just a myth?
Yeah. No, it's not a myth at all, man. My girlfriend still looks like she's 10 years younger than me, and she's a year older.
Yeah, man, I still get carded.
Yeah, it happens.
I'm starting to talk like Canadian now. Well, I still get carded every now and then. But you know, it's not a bad deal. I mean, come on.
What's that all about? What's that all about?
It's not anything to get sorry about. No, man, I get carded. I have been carded since I've turned 37. That's the truth.
That's
Wait a
amazing.
minute, you're 37? I thought you were 36.
Man, we just did a show about this like 2 weeks ago. You've got the memory of someone in like their late.
I always took pride in my memory, but I think it's starting to slip a little bit.
Yeah, like I know that you don't smoke weed, but like with your squinty eyes and your poor memory, it's like you're having a hard time convincing me that you're not a pothead.
That's the complete irony of the whole thing. Is
I know,
Hey, man, there's these yogis, man, and they're like, they're trying to think about how they can make their people stop.
Josh just got called squinty-eyed by the only Asian on the show.
Hey, and I can.
He can. He's the only one that can say that.
The late reaction waited like 5 minutes before he realized the irony. That was perfect.
Absolutely.
That's our word.
That's right.
I gave Josh an interesting fact a couple days ago when I texted you about the. Remember that text I sent you? I don't know if Brandon knows about this. Okay, Brandon, do you know what a Twinkie is?
Like the traditional Twinkie, like the snack?
Yeah, well, no, not the traditional. Are
you talking about a twink like a effeminate gay guy?
No, but Josh, you're close because that's what Josh thought. My girlfriend told me like among Asian Americans, Twinkie is an insult.
Oh.
You know what it is? Yes. Okay.
Yes, I do. Do you want me to say it, or do you want to say it?
You go ahead.
So like you know, back in the early '90s when they would say like, oh man, that kid's an Oreo. He's black on the outside, but he's white on the inside. So a Twinkie would be, oh man, he's yellow on the outside, but he's white on the inside. Is that?
So it's basically like the whitewashing of people's culture, right? So like it's like somebody who would be Asian American who completely just became this like bland American fucking white person, right? They lost their culture. They don't know how to speak their native language, that kind of thing.
Oh,
but
yeah.
There's another Twinkie that I learned about.
That is not the explanation you gave me.
I know, but I'm going to give you the explanation that I gave Josh. The other one that
All in one text message.
the other one that my girlfriend told me about is like if you're a white dude and you have a threesome with two Asians, because you're the white cream in the middle.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
See, that's a new one. See, that blew my mind.
Not good to me at all. Ugh. Ugh.
You don't like Twinkies?
I'm basing everything off of stereotypes with Asian guys. That just sounds like
Yeah,
that
I
wasn't
mean,
even.
Oh, it is racist.
You could be a Twinkie as well. You could be the white cream between two Asian men.
Maybe I am a Twinkie because I'm half Asian, half white.
You might be. Maybe you're a Twinkie.
Hey, I just found out my nickname.
Twinkie.
Hey, I got it.
Little Twinkie.
Hey everybody, this is my buddy Twink. We hang out together. He looks way younger than he is. He's very feminine.
I just remembered something. In Dirty 30's history. The last episode, we had remember the episode that we had determined that Brandon was in fact a twink in gay culture.
Yes.
And then now he's the Twinkie.
Yeah.
That's right.
So he's got both.
I got both, man. I'm bi.
You're bi. You gotta tell your wife. Just don't tell your wife you're bi yet.
Oh my God, my kids are gonna see this someday. It's on YouTube. It's gonna be there forever. Oh well.
You can't unsay it.
Can't unsay it. It's out there.
I'm
It's
assuming they're impressionable by now. Oh.
Yeah. They'll
It's
figure
gonna
it
be
out.
there as long as we have power in the internet. The next time you go to the store
All I
and
hear
buy a
is
pack of
interwebs.
Twinkies, I'm just excited when Brandon goes grocery shopping and goes down the Twinkie aisle and has a good laugh.
Not gonna happen.
I'll take a picture and I'll send it to you.
Please do. Please do.
Definitely.
Oh, Jesus. So, Waitress, you don't want nothing to do with being a Twinkie. Tell us something interesting about New Orleans that will indulge us or intrigue us. TikTok.
TikTok. Now, that stupid runoff election's going to be interesting, though. They just made fun of the Republican candidate for not being able to properly finish one sentence, so I guess it's everywhere, isn't it?
And all three of us are like deer in the headlights right now because none of us talk politics.
No. I mean, I pretty much assume that if you're a politician, you just can't form a sentence anyways, so that doesn't surprise me.
Hey, did you tell Waitress about we might have plans to venture down that way?
Yeah, I've spoken to Waitress about such things. She's well aware of it. I didn't think we were going to talk about that on the show until we actually had something to talk about. But now it's out there.
Actual fiscal script, right? That's what you guys are planning.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I'm good at bringing up things that we can't really, disclose permanently.
Yeah.
So,
what's that? Oh, you're not allowed to talk about it? It's top secret? Oh, well, let's talk about that thing that is remotely not related to it, and it's like king of the inside joke over here.
Say, hey, Brandon, tell that story about that movie that you were in that you legally can't say anything about. Okay, great. What do you want me to say? Well, this is boring. Let's talk about something else.
Well, these things happen. I mean, what do you do?
Hey, any good?
Yeah, I am.
You got any good?
Jesus Christ.
Hey, Paul, man, hey, are you doing Movember here, man? You got this thick beard.
I actually just shaved because my girlfriend told me I was too prickly, so I had to go and trim it down. But otherwise, I would have kept it going. But I like having sex more than I like having a beard. So, what are you gonna do?
Yeah. Hey, some guys have sex to keep their beard.
Was it like mountain beard?
You get it?
How does that work?
Beard. You know what I mean? Like a lady who pretends to be with a gay man. That's called a beard.
Oh.
You know?
That's where you're going with that.
Yeah. A beard.
Speaking of No Shave November, I just recently, people were talking about it, but women do it as well. So,
I hope not. Oh, no.
Are you taking advantage of that, or are you just like all women during the winter time, you just choose not to shave? But it's not winter there. Well, it's winter there, but it's not cold.
Where do you get this idea from? That's a terrible idea.
I hear these things, and I just want to know if people
That's
actually
how you ruin a $130 pair of yoga pants, right there.
Yeah, that or scare any man away once it's revealed. It's like, ugh, no.
This is going to be a new staple question of the Dirty 30s for our female guests. How long have you gone without shaving your legs since you started shaving your legs?
Less than 3 days.
Wow. That's not bad at all.
Question.
I've dated girls that have gone almost a week without doing it.
You know, ladies who are swimmers will keep their leg hair long all throughout the season, and they'll shave it off thinking that'll make them faster. So that's the thing.
So what? Wait a minute. Say that again. That makes absolutely no sense. They keep the leg hair on during the off season.
No, during their season. So they swim, the whole season with their long leg hair without shaving, and then before one of the a very important meet, they'll have a shaving part. This sounds like it's made up.
It's
But they have. I swear this happened. They had shaving parties, and then they swim faster because of a tenth of a second in swimming could be the difference between first place and last place, right? So and maybe it's just a psychological edge or whatever, but there's ladies who go all season without.
They all get together and shave all at once in a big party.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No.
Wow.
Careful, Brandon. I think you just gave Paul a new fantasy.
That's what I was told anyway. That's what I was told in high school.
He is right now Googling shaving parties.
And you're gonna be.
How about I do it? Is that a dare?
Yes.
I'm gonna Google shaving parties right now.
Do Google images shaving party, and we'll wait for your reaction. But Josh, you shave your head, man.
I shave my body. I always shave my body, but there's truth. There's truth to what you're saying. Yeah, I shave my whole body.
in the morning.
Oh my God!
Oh.
Oh my God, there it is. 2011, 11, 14, 2012 swim team shaving party waxing on YouTube. Swim team shaving parties, they do have them. I'm not gonna watch the video.
It's
Wow.
a trap, man. It is like you click on that, and Chris Hansen's gonna jump out and be like, "I'm sorry, you need to have a seat over here. Don't touch those cookies."
Either way, we're totally gonna lose Paul if he starts watching that.
I think we've lost him.
Yeah.
I don't think I want to watch it.
I can see the reflection on your face of the video moving, man.
We got way happier all of a sudden too.
Can I actually do that? Can I watch a YouTube video while I'm trying to? I feel like it would slow everything down.
Give it a shot.
I'm not gonna click on anything. It just looks weird.
Yeah.
You can screen share it with us if you would like.
It's just people. They're waxing each other. They got wax all over, rubbing it. Oh, it's women and guys. Wow, I did not know this is a thing. They're actually taking it off the forearm.
It sounds like toddlers.
It does.
It's really not that interesting. It's really not that interesting.
Oh.
But he continues to watch it.
Oh my God.
No, I'm done watching it. It's stupid.
Waitress is like, man, did I shave my legs for this? Hey, you remember that song? It's a
So
song,
Waitress,
right?
so Waitress, you wouldn't do it. You know, you're not part of like any of those feminist movements where like, you know what, fuck it, I don't have to be beautiful. I'm not gonna shave my legs or my armpits. Fuck
I
society.
stand by my question, my answer to Josh's question. Yeah, I've never, gone all European, natural, or whatever the hell you want to call it.
You're not like fuck society, man. I'm not gonna shave.
No burning bras either.
Oh.
I need those.
This is really interesting because every time we have a lady guest on, that we always ask them questions about being a lady, and then we have like a gay guy on. It's like, oh hey, you're doing all this comedy and stuff like that. It's like, but what's it like to be gay? It's like,
Okay, how about I have a question about for a gender-specific question. For Katie.
Go ahead. I've heard that from you before.
Hey Katie, Waitress, have you seen that new video about the chick that walks through New York City and gets harassed by a bunch of dudes? And I was kind of wondering do you have similar experiences in New Orleans? Is it like that, walking around Bourbon Street, getting like catcalled or whatever they say?
Actually, one time I got a cat call telling me I was wearing the wrong shoes with the wrong dress once. That was...
That's informative.
Very impressive.
That's informative. He was informing you of something.
Nice dress, but what are those shoes or something like that? I'm trying to remember.
Nice dress, honey, but what are you thinking with those shoes?
He was just being the classic
I was very confused.
Josh, have y'all seen this video that went viral about the girl walking around and guys were just like yelling shit at her?
Yeah, of course I have. And I like how she's now a celebrity and is on TV and letting everyone exploit her to talk about it.
Really? She's on TV?
Yeah, she was on CNN.
Well, the thing that I don't like about that video, the thing that offended, I didn't get offended, but the thing is, like, where were the white dudes? It seemed like they purposely just showed, like, black and Latino people yelling at her. So, and then I read through the YouTube crawl. You know how they have all those comments? Every comment on there missed the point. You know what I mean? It was all screw, racist. I'm not going to say what I read, but you can use your imagination to the nature of some of these comments that people were coming, and none of it was directed towards the behavior of what sexual harassment was. It was all like targeting, it's just these specific types of people, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I don't know, to whoever made that video, it's like they're almost saying that, look, it's only, black people that do this to women.
Well, I saw that as well, and I think the point was just, we're filming, and that's who happened to be out there, right? And when I was reading never read the comments, man. They're so terrible, right? The worst of the worst of society.
I know.
In the YouTube comments, but you can't help it, right? It's like a train wreck. But I saw them too, and the general message of what I was saying was like, oh, screw her, man. She's lucky they even paid attention to her because she's butt ugly, or oh, saying hi is harassment now. Oh, this feminine agenda and stuff like that. And it's like they're missing the point too, right? Because it's like she wasn't inviting any of that, right?
No.
She's walking about her way.
No, I got that.
Yeah, and although saying hey, like how are you and stuff like that, technically isn't harassment, right? But when she's walking from one part of the city to the other, and it's constant, and you just want to, I've walked through New York City and had people like shouting stuff at me. I felt really uncomfortable, and it wasn't of a sexual nature or anything like that, I don't think. But I was like, oh, these guy's gonna jump me or what? Why are people talking to me?
Hey, I've walked many a times through the streets of Boys Town, and it's the same thing. I've been
Paul, you should be
harassed.
catcalled, obviously.
Huh? I didn't hear that. Something.
I said you should be catcalled, obviously.
Oh yeah.
That's right, man. You gotta rip the
more men
guys out.
should be exploited.
Holy shit.
Exactly.
So I'm going to chime in here.
Come over here.
Oh,
Come over
Jesus.
here.
Now this sounds like harassment to me.
Speaking of catcalling and harassment,
Let's take this portion of the video and
let's watch a fight about to happen.
I'm sorry, I just got interrupted. She doesn't want to come on. My girlfriend doesn't want to come on the show. She's too shy.
Understood.
Makes sense.
Oh, well.
But hey,
So do you
man,
want?
let's do a video of Paul walking through Boys Town.
They've already done it. They've already done two. They've done a real one and then they did a spoof one.
They did a spoof one. Did you see the one with the guy? Like there was like this big hunky dude who walked around, and guys were. It was the same thing. Like a bunch of chicks were trying to holler at him, and gay guys were harassing him.
I'm going to chime in here and say I'm finding it difficult or annoying that so human beings, we're guys and girls, and for I don't know, since the beginning of human beings have been around, however you want to believe they came about, we're supposed to procreate, which means that guys are supposed to be attracted to girls are supposed to be attracted to guys, or attracted to anything, and we're supposed to do these things. And now because of a video of an attractive girl walking around and guys saying things to her, it's like you can't minus out millions of years of evolution and instincts in just a short amount of time. Yes, we're supposed to be wise and the smartest animals, and yes, we're supposed to be able to make these choices to not do these things, but at the same time, that's what's ingrained in us to do that. And I'm going to go on a limb and say if women didn't get catcalled once in a while, they'd have a problem with that. I think they want to be known that they are pretty and stuff, just like we do too. It's just I get it that there's supposed to be appropriate situations and it's rude and nobody wants it and all that, but it's hard to just minus out millions of years of evolution because there's plenty of girls that you catcall them and they come running to you. So I don't know.
Yeah. Has that ever happened? As someone's like walking down like, hey girl, come over here and shake it for me. Oh, really? Okay. And then they run over and start like grinding on the pole.
Yeah, that's like what Seinfeld did that about the people honking the car.
Yeah.
They honk and the girl's gonna run down like 8 blocks just out of breath. Like, I'm sorry, did you honk? Has that ever worked? I don't know. I mean.
Well, that's the extreme, but there's plenty of times when dudes are on the street corner in the neighborhood and might yell out, "Hey, girl, what's going on?" And the girls yell back, and then they start talking. That happens, and I think Brandon, if you got out of your neighborhood once in a while, you'll probably see that in the cities that Paul and Waitress live in.
Well, perhaps, but I think
music is blaring, girls come out and twerk. It's the way it goes.
Every place is like a Katy Perry video, man. Of course.
The whole world's a Katy Perry video.
Except the women are big, gigantic, and
hey, Waitress, can you
want their money.
Can Waitress twerk?
There's no twerking on our show.
Can you twerk?
No.
I
didn't go there. There you go.
To twerk.
Paul, there's my point. Paul is an example of millions of years of testosterone-bound manly man.
No, I'm an example of testosterone abuse.
Waitress is on the show, and we're all trying to be alpha males right now, and he's trying to get her to perform a sexual act in front of his eyes. to see her worthiness of his alpha-ness. That's
By the
exactly
way,
what it
there's
was.
also
Alphaness?
other
Alphaness?
factors involved here. I'm saying no.
Exactly.
I like how Josh made up a coined a term, alphaness. Alphaness.
It was most alpha. But you know, when was the last time, Brandon? When was the last time you were at the club? And if you saw what young people do at the club now, it's the same thing we did, it's the same thing every generation does, but it has gotten worse because of the standards of our society. You go into a club, there isn't even, hi, my name's Josh, nice to meet you. Do you have hopes and dreams? Let's get to know each other, and then you might dance on the dance floor and share a drink. No, it literally is point at a girl, or a girl points at you, and you just grind and twerk and all that, and go home and have sex. That is
Very well could be, but I think that environment's different than just walking down the street, right?
right. That's what I said. There's a time and place. Like when you go to a club, you know that that's going to happen. Versus when you're walking down the street, it shouldn't be socially acceptable where you can just yell at another human being. You know, it's like we should be a little more decent. So I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying time and place. But we're just a society where like everybody wants to fuck and everyone wants to yell at each other, and we just are chaos. And what separates us from one giant just mess is that some people are afraid to yell and some people react to that. So.
You don't catcall women though. I know that's just not something I could picture you doing.
He barely calls women.
I barely call them back.
Barely calls them back, much less catcall.
Let alone cat call them. Yes.
But okay, all right, waitress. Have you ever catcalled a guy with your group of friends?
No, absolutely not. We just
Well,
whisper and point, I guess. I don't know.
But if he turns around and yells at you, then you all like perk up and fight over who he's talking to.
If they actually yell at us, or if someone just like walks over there and says hi.
That, either one.
Either one.
Since you're
We're
the
talking about people screaming at the other. I don't know.
well, since Waitress is the only female on here, what's the creepiest thing a dude's ever said to you as a pickup line?
The one that I still haven't figured out to this day, maybe you guys can give me some input and exactly what it means, but a guy came up to me once and asked me, maybe you can tell me how to, fold a fitted sheet. And I was just so confused that I walked away.
Fold a
Because it was
fitted
such a
sheet.
manner. How do you fold a fitted sheet? Like I was supposed to be his mom or something. I don't know.
Yeah, he's got issues. He's definitely got mommy issues.
Yeah. That's not that bad, actually. I was hoping it'd be something much worse. But
It's bad in that is like why would you think that would even work? Hey, how do you fold a fitted? It sounds like a Seinfeld, like a Stephen Wright joke. Like I tried to fold a fitted sheet and then I tripped over my cordless phone. I mean, like it's a groaner.
that's a good Stephen Wright, by the way.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Now,
The guy that never left his bedroom and found a girl, and he's like, oh shit, I forgot how to fold a fitted sheet. Could you tell
all
me
right,
now?
let's put it in perspective. Let's change the perspective of it a little bit. What if you were at the laundromat and the guy was doing laundry and he comes over and says, hey, maybe you know how to fold a fitted sheet, and he's holding a fitted sheet, and now you have a start of a romantic comedy.
With Seth Rogen. Hey, how do you fold a fitted sheet?
I've got so much hair on it, I don't know what to do.
Oh, man. So were you in a laundromat, or was this like in a different setting?
This was at a bar. Nowhere near a laundromat.
I can't figure out the logic of a statement like that, and if he was like using innuendo or metaphors or...
I was wondering if you guys knew some random innuendo that I'm unaware of. Because
That is really fucked up.
You know what you should have said? You should have said, why? Did you piss your sheets or something? Like, what's wrong with you, man? Get out of here.
I'm overly nice. I guess I couldn't.
Like, get some rubber sheets for your piss problem, you
So,
jerk off, and get out of here.
The ending to that story is you ended up dating him for like 6 months, right?
Oh, God, no.
You live happily ever after.
Random weird balding spots and probably a lazy eye. No, probably not.
I'm so glad I have my hair. Just really an important thing. Girls don't like bald guys.
No, not really.
Hey, what happened to Josh? You
Sure,
ever...
it's okay.
What happened to Josh? He's kind of bald now. He's shaved
Yeah.
his head.
Look at him. He's frozen. He's not moving. I think he's gone.
Oh, okay. I thought he no.
Oh wait, no.
He's there. He's just letting it sink in. Like, oh man, I've been using wrong with those pickup lines this whole time.
It's just technical difficulties.
Well.
So, Brandon, I gotta ask you this now that I have you. We don't speak that often. You do great impersonations, I think. Quite a few good ones. One of your best being Bill Cosby.
Oh yeah.
Now, have you've definitely heard the allegations against Mr. Bill?
Yeah.
Wow.
Pretty sick, man.
Holy shit! Like, do you think that this is pretty legit now that this many people have come forward? There's a severe possibility that he probably did this stuff?
I think there's got to definitely be some truth to it because I've heard this kind of stuff over the years, right? Not just now, but I think it's now starting to come out now. Now that he's old and feeble, but
Mostly blind.
exactly, yeah. I'm very sure that he at several points in life had been like, hey, come sit on my face, and I will give you a raise.
That's what I was hoping for.
I will give you a pudding pop if you make a Kodak moment with me right now on the seat of my pants. Yes, I will.
There we go.
That's what I'm talking about.
Do you think he ever did the cigar thing that Bill Clinton did with Monica Lewinsky?
I think he did it with Jell-O.
He dipped his cigars in Jell-O pudding.
I'm going to make a Jell-O mold of your behind and put my face in it.
Nice.
Hey. Man, I'm so sad that Josh is missing all this. He'll catch it on the replay.
Oh, he's
like, oh
sure.
man.
I'm sure he's hearing it. He's laughing his ass off. So.
Yeah, maybe. Oh man. Well, hey. So because Josh is having some difficulty and we've been going for a long time here, I think I'm going to give you the tip of the day. Tip of the day is drink water. It's good for you. It's nothing better.
It is. That's true. How much are you supposed to drink? That's not a very... Just drink water? I mean, it can be any amount.
I think, like, technically they say, like drink 12 large glass, 8 to 12 full-size glasses a day. I'm not going to say that. I'm not your dad. I'm not your boss, anything like that. Just drink water.
All right. It's good for you, bitches.
Cures hangovers.
Cures hangovers. It gets rid of bags under your eyes. Poor skin.
Acne. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
It can clear up your acne. There was a kid in my class when I was in school. He was convinced that water was a cure for everything. He was like this very yogi kind of guy. Thought he was a yoga instructor. So he's like, if you just cleanse your body with water, you can get rid of anything like cancer. He was, yeah.
No.
Did he shower? Because that involves water, right?
Absolutely. You need that. Everybody needs that. You
He
need to wash your clothes, otherwise you smell like a...
He would just encourage
like a
everybody. He would just tell everyone to drink water, and that would cure everything. So, there you go.
Well, hey, why not try it?
Good tips.
That's the tip of the day, man. Sometimes they're really easy. Sometimes they're like, hey, go watch La Bamba. But, yeah, I don't know if Josh is going to get back in here or not. Looks like he just popped back in. But you know what? I think it's time to close it out. So, Josh, are you there?
Nope.
Not really. Okay. Well, he'll catch up later.
He's there in spirit.
Yeah, we gave the tip of the day. We're all good. Waitress, we know you. We love you. We know your real name. We already said it a couple times, so it's not it's not a secret. It's on the Katie.
So hey, that now everyone knows what it is.
Well, hey, yeah, we didn't use the last name. But we are so pleased to. I haven't talked to you in years, I don't think, since you moved down there. So very happy to have you on the show and say hi to you. So thank you so much for joining us.
No, thanks for having me.
And
And
Paul,
Josh, thank you for the invite.
yeah, absolutely, yeah. And Paul, glad to hear from you. Glad to hear you're doing well. I'm gonna watch the video to catch up on what I missed. and then I'll give you some feedback. But man, always a pleasure, and I'm glad things are working well for you. Josh, are you there now?
Hey.
I'm here, and I want to say that even though I missed a majority of the show tonight, that it's always a pleasure to speak with all of you. And before we go, I don't know if you've done it yet or not, because I pretty much missed the last 20 minutes of the show. But Brandon, would you just with your tip of the day?
Yeah, I already did that, man. I said drink water because it's good for you. So that's it. That's it. Drink water. We already talked about it, so it's not a big deal. So yeah, man, I thanked our guests. I did all the Joshy jobs. So man, you can do the Brandon job and say, hey, I'll see you later. Thanks for watching.
Cool. All right. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.